Hello.
Hello, Mario. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I don't know. I'm very cold.
Oh, it's all in
Cold.
your mind.
Really?
You're from Canada. You're not allowed to say that.
I know. I know. Mornings are cold. The evenings are cold. I don't know.
Yeah. Jorge.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Gute Nacht.
Sí.
Guten
No,
Abend.
no sabía que era un yeque usted.
Mm, I actually, when I first came up from Guatemala, my grandfather
Yeah.
didn't speak English. I didn't speak English. I didn't speak anything other than Spanish.
Yeah.
So he didn't speak Spanish. So he started talking to me in Yiddish.
Oh, okay.
So I understand. I mean, I have times where I wake up in the middle of the night dreaming in Yiddish. Do
Yeah.
I
My
speak Yiddish? No.
my wife grew up only with English in
Yeah.
Montevideo. I mean, she spoke Spanish, but the parents, the mother especially, spoke 99% Yiddish and half a percent Spanish.
And that's the way it was. I
Yeah,
mean, interesting. My mom left Czechoslovakia, and in her mind, she was done with Europe.
yeah. So she didn't. What did she speak?
She became completely. My mom had many languages. No, I mean she identified herself as a naturalized Guatemalan.
Oh,
That's it. I mean she was originally Czech. She spoke Czech, Hungarian, Yiddish, Spanish, understood and read Hebrew.
yeah.
Uh, and my father, in addition to those languages, and she spoke German, my mom. But my father, in addition, had learned Russian and English.
Oh, okay.
You know, they
Very
were. It was a different culture, a different society.
polyglotas.
They were all very fluent in multiple languages because that's was necessary to survive in that environment.
Yeah. Well, I speak five languages, so if you have the ease to learn, it's okay. I cannot make myself learn Hebrew for nothing in my life. Nothing. I speak German, French, Italian, Spanish, a little bit of English, but I just can't.
Wow.
Anyhow, Ernie, I'm sorry.
Okay, we're on Lamed Dalid, Amid Beis on the bottom. Dina Nefesh is done in Bayoim. We're talking about, again, civil procedure. When are the courts open? When are they closed? When you can adjudicate? So the capital crimes are adjudicated only in the daytime. Menon Amili, where's the source for that? Amar of Simi Barchia. Amar Kra, V'hoka osam la'Hashem neged hashamash. This was an episode where people were worshiping. They were doing something that would have required capital punishment, and they were placed in front of Hashem neged hashamash. Amrav Chizda, minayin lahoikashi tliya. So this is a pasuk regarding the Givonim who they hung Shaul HaMelech's body after he was killed, and Hokah is called Tliya, hanging. Because it says, V'hu kvanum l'Hashem b'givat Shaul b'chir Hashem. In Givat Shaul, they hung Shaul and his children. Uksiv, Vatikach ritzpa bataya et hasak, Vatiteu la el atzor mitchilas ktsir, ad netach mayim aleim min hashamayim, v'lo natna of hashamayim lanuach lehem yomam, v'et chayat hasadeh layim. That In Shmuel Beis, Ritzba Bas Aya took them down or covered them because they were hanging on the trees. There's a din, you can't leave a body overnight hanging. Ksiv Vayomer Hashem el Moshe, Kachas kol Roshei Ha'am, V'hokal Osam Hashem neged HaShamesh. These were bad, the leaders were doing bad things. And this is by the at the end of Parshas Pinchas, when the Cosby Bas, one of the Nisim was having relations, and the Roshei Ha'am were also participating in this. So Moshe was commanded to hang them up, and that'll take away the anger of Hashem away. So Imam Chatu Roshei Ha'am Chatu. Now, if the people were the ones who sinned, what did the Roshei Ha'am have to do with it? That means the Roshei Ha'am have to serve as the judges. Each Shevet has to judge his people. Now, why did my time? Why did they have to appoint Batei Dinim? Maybe because there's a din that you cannot adjudicate a capital 2 people in the same day, and that's why they needed many Batei Din. That's 2 different types of capital punishment. With the same capital execution, they could have had 1 Bezdin. They wanted to do it fast and not wait in order to cool down the anger of Hashem. Then we said, Dine Mamanas Gon Bo Bayom. Mamanas, you can make a Gemar Din the same day. Din and Nefashos, you have to wait till the next day. Menanimili. Amr Chli Damar Kra. Milesi Mishpat Tzedek Yalin Ba Va'atam Ratzchim. When they're dealing with Roitzchim, murderers, you have to Yalin, you have to wait until the next day. Rabba Avra Mehacha. Rabba says a different pasuk. Limdu Teib Darshu Mishpat Ishru Chamotz. Ishru, that means give praise to the Dayan Shema Chametz. Chametz needs delay, right? When a dough becomes chametz stick, it takes time. So the dayan who delays his din is what's being praised here. So v'idich, how come Rav Chanina didn't learn from this pasuk? Because ishru chamotz v'lo chometz. Don't be somebody who steals. V'idich milesi mishpat ma'avid. Like what does Rava do with milesi mishpat? Rabbi Lazar, Rav Yitzchak, Am Rav Lazar, Am Rav Yitzchak. Called Tanya Shemalina Bosat Staka. If there was a fast day and they tried to collect charity for Aniyim, but they didn't give it right away to the Aniyim. It's Kilu Shofech Damim. It's like committing murder against the Aniyim, because they need it, otherwise they'll die. Shenemar Milesi Mishpat. Tzedek. That means you have to do it with the righteousness. Hanimili Rift of Atamik. We're talking about giving them mamash food, bread and dates. Because if you don't give it in time, they might starve. Sorry, lesson, Bob. But money that you've raised for wheat and barley, there's no isser to delay that. That kind of food needs long time cooking. Can't eat it right away. So it's not ready to eat. So that would not be an isser to delay giving them that. And we said, lefichach ein donin, we wait till the next day for the Gemar din of a capital crime. And therefore, we said in the Mishnah, we don't start a din on Erev Shabbos and Erev Yontif because you can't continue it to the next day. My time, Mishum lo yefshar. Heich 11. What are we going to do? L'dani b'malei shabta, v'limur l'dani b'malei shabta. You can't start the din on Friday and end the din on Friday because dil m'chazu tam l'choifa. Maybe they have arrived at a decision that might be guilty. Uboy l'mevin halonas din. We already learned you can't declare him guilty in the same day. You got to wait overnight. And now, if we're going to tell the dayan b'mali shabta v'ligmir b'shabta v'likle b'shabta, or we're going to tell the judges to do the adjudication erev Shabbos and do the Gemar din on Shabbos and kill the person on Shabbos, but ein ritzicha doiches Shabbos, killing a murderer is not doiches Shabbos. So v'likte l'urta, so maybe you'll kill him Saturday night on Motzei Shabbos. It says neged hashemesh be'inam. It says you have to kill them in the daytime. So v'ligmer l'dinei b'shabta, v'likte le'b'chad b'shabta. So why not do the Gemar din on Shabbos and kill them on Sunday? Nimsa ma'ana says dino. You're torturing the guy. The moment you give him a verdict, you got to kill him right away because otherwise it's a torture. If you make him wait all to the next day. That's called inu yadin. So what's another option? Nidane b'malei shabta, v'nigmer b'chad b'shabta. So let us do the din Friday, and let's do the Gemar din Sunday. So minshu tamayu, people will forget their reasonings. The alpha gav, the shnei sofer, the onim under of them v'koytzim devram ezak v'dem achayfim. They're not going to forget because we said there are scribes. One that stands to the right, one that stands to the left, and they write all the reasons to either make him guilty or innocent. So fine, those things that have been uttered, they've written down. Avalibadi inshi. But things that they have in their heart that they are thinking about, maybe they'll forget. So hilkach lo yafshar. So that prevents us from ever doing a din either Erev Shabbos or Erev Yontif. So Amar lo Rish Lakish l'Rav Yochanan. Utehek for us meitz mitzvah durch Shabbos mikal v'chomer. If you're walking on the street and you find a corpse, there is a big mitzvah to bury that meis mitzvah. And Reish Lakish is going to learn a kal v'chomer that even if you find a meis mitzvah on Shabbos, you should be able to bury it on Shabbos. Because Uma Avoda, offering korbanos in the Beis Hamikdash, Shedoicha Shabbos, we are allowed to shech a korban. There's a oilas a Shabbos b'Shabbato. An oila was offered on Shabbos. So avoid is doicha Shabbos. Yet, kvuras meis mitzvah doicha oisa. Let's say a kohen has to be present to offer that korban, but there's a meis mitzvah. He goes and buries the meis mitzvah rather than do the korban. We learn that from V'lach Choisai. Because it says, by Nazir, Kol Yemei Aziro Lashem, during the times he's in Nazir, Av Meis Lo Yavo. He may not be metame to a meis. La'aviv u'le'imo la'achiv la'choisoi. Lo yitame le'em b'moisam, not to the father, not to the mother, not to the brother, not to the sister. Ki nezer lo'kav al rosho. Lama tamud lemar. What's the list of all these relatives coming to add? Once you say imo v'achiv, you don't need a choisoi. So it tells us Harei shahaya hoylech lishchot es pischo. The Nazir is on his way to shecht his korban pesach, or lomelas b'no, or to do mila for his son. What is the common denominator? These are the only two mitzvahs says that if you don't do them, you get kares. If you're mevatel korban pesach and if you don't do mila, so these are mitzvahs that says that are chayv kares if you don't do it. V'shama shemes lo mes, and he heard that one of his relatives died. So yachol yitame. So I might think he could go to the funeral. Amrit lo yitame. So the pasuk says the nazir cannot. Yachol kashem shenim etame lachoyso kachenim etame lemeis mitzvah. What if you find a corpse on the street that has no one to bury him? Maybe also he shouldn't be allowed to work on the meis mitzvah. Talmud loymar v'lachoysoi. So it's a miyut. Lachoysoi de'enim etame. The nazir cannot occupy himself with his sister's funeral because there's other people to do it. Aval metame lemeis mitzvah. So you see, the korban pesach is nitcha in the face of a meis mitzvah. So now we get to our proof. Shabbos shenitzches v'bnei avoida. Shabbos is pushed aside for regular avoida because you're allowed to offer a korban on Shabbos. And now we've seen that meis mitzvah is doiche korban. Well, if korban is doiche Shabbos, ein odin should take first meis mitzvah doiche esa. So the being occupied with the meis mitzvah should also doiche Shabbos. Amr le Rav Yochanan responded to Reish Lakish, no proof. Ritzicha tuchiach. Carrying out a capital punishment on a rotzeach will prove it, because it's doiches avoida. For example, let's say there's only one Kohen in the base of Mikdash, and he has been declared a murderer by Beis Din. We take him off the Mizbeach, even if he's on the Mizbeach, and we kill him. And there's going to be bittul ma'avoida. There's no one else to do the avoida. But ein a doiches Shabbos. But the Ritzicha is not doiches Shabbos. It's doiche the korban, but not doiches Shabbos. So Reish Lakish immediately responds the opposite. Ritzicha gufa titches Shabbos. Carrying out capital punishment on Shabbos should be doiches Shabbos mikal v'chomer. Ma avoida shedoiches Shabbos. We've just learned that doing the avoid is doiches Shabbos. Yet ritzicha doiche oisa. Yet if there's only one coin in the whole base of Mikdash, and he has a verdict of misa, you take him off the mizbech and you kill him. So ritzicha is doiche the avoida. How do we know this? Shenemar v'chiyazid ish al re'eyu lahargo ba'arma. If a person killed through planning, b'mezid, another person, me'im mizbechiti kachenu lamus. You can take him off of my mizbech to put him to death. So Shabbos shenitchem the avoida. So we are allowed to do the avoida is doiche Shabbos. So clearly te ritzicha doiche oisa. We should be able to carry out capital punishment on Shabbos. Amar of Akvar Pascha, Tana Devei Rabbi Yishmael. Rabbi Yishmael already proved not. Because it says like this. Lo sevaru eish b'chol mosh lo seichem b'yom HaShabbos. You're not allowed to light a fire wherever you live on Shabbos. Now, Ma'at Talmud Loimer. Why do we need this pasuk? It already says, Lo tasem malacha. Don't do work. Fire is one of the 39 malachos. Why do you need another pasuk to tell me lo sevaru eish? Break the Gemara Ma'at Talmud Loimer. What do you mean? We learn a lot of things from this. If Rav Yosi, so Rav Yosi learns that lighting a fire on Shabbos is different than all the other 39 malachos. The 39 malachos, if you do them b'mezid, you get skila. But Rabbi Yossi held that the reason why this pasuk was written by fire is lalav yotzes. He proves that lighting a fire on Shabbos is just a lav, where you don't get chores, you just get malchus. Or Rav Nosson lechalik yotzes. Rav Nosson learns another halacha from this pasuk, that the reason why it was learned separately to teach me that if I do all 39 malachos with different forgetfulness periods, I forgot that this malacha is Asr on Shabbos, and I do it. So I have to bring a korban chatas. And if I do all 39, I have to bring 39 different korbanos. Rav Nosson learns it l'chalik. Because we learned in a brisa, havara l'lav yatzes. Div Rabbi Yossi. The reason why there's a special pasuk of lo suvaru esh b'chol mashvasechem is to teach me that the violation of lighting a fire on Shabbos, you don't get chorus for that. It's a lav only. Rav Nosson l'chalik yatzes. That for each av malacha that you do b'Shabbos, you're chayav a separate korban. They're not considered one. It's not like if you do all 39, you only bring one korban. No, you have to bring all 39. Well, it comes out that because Rava says, Tanit Rabbi Shmuel, comes out that El Amar Rava, the Tana that learns from Lo Suvaru Eish, so Moshvos Kashale. What does it mean, B'chol Moshvesechem, wherever you live? So this is how you have to understand it. The B'chol Moshvesechem, Moshves Ma Tamud Lomer, Michte, Shabbos Choyves Agufi? Is Shabbos a responsibility of each, is it a responsibility on our body? And it's not based on a certain place. It's a responsibility on your body. The choyves aguf noheges bein ba'aretz bein b'chutz la'aretz. The chiyuv of Shabbos is noheg whether you're in Eretz Yisrael or not. That's what b'chol moshvosechem means. So that's moshvos. You wouldn't need moshvosechem plural. Moshvosechem because of Rachmana Lamali. Mishum Rabbi Shmuel Amar Tamid Echad Levi Shemar v'chiyeh b'ish chet mishpat maves v'humas. If a person has been given a verdict to be put to death, and he's put to death, v'shomea ani bein b'chol bein b'Shabbos, and I might think he could be put to death both during a weekday and Shabbos. So ha mani makayim. There's a pasuk that says ushmartem es haShabbos ki kodesh hilachem mechalelei amos yumos. That's b'shar melachos chutz b'mitzvos bezdin. That's doing other melachos will be put you to death if you did the melach on Shabbos, except if you killed somebody in bezdin, because that might be mutar afil b'Shabbos. Oh, maybe we would say eino ella afilu misas bezdin. You're not allowed to do. Umani makayim v'hubas is b'chol avalo b'Shabbos. When it says you shall put him to death, it's only during the weekday, not Shabbos. So that's the second way to learn. Now I'll give you a third way. O eino el afilu b'Shabbos. Or maybe we can put a person to death on Shabbos. Talmud loymar lo savaru eish b'chol moshvosechem. And then it says uhalanu oymer. When it comes to a rotzech, it says v'hayu eda lachem l'chukas mishpat l'derosechem b'chol moshvosechem. Ma moishvois. Homer lahalan bezdin. Moishvois means bezdin. Af moishvois Homer kan regarding Shabbos bezdin. V'omer achmana lo suvaru esh b'chol moshvosechem. Even the moishav of bezdin that is doing din and nefashos, one of the misa, one of the four misas, hereg, cherev, skila, v'sreifa, is melting lead, and you make the person swallow the melting lead. But you can't do that. So from here is the limud that you cannot carry out capital punishment on Shabbos. Amra by Asha de Amris she'ein ritzicha doiches Shabbos. So now you've learned from these psukim that you're not allowed to put someone to death on Shabbos. So now I could learn a kal v'chomer backwards. Maybe ein ritzicha doiches avoida mi kal v'chomer. We learned before that if all the Kohanim are on vacation, there's one Kohen in the Beis Hamikdash, there's nobody else, and he kills somebody, and Beis Din shows up with a verdict of ritzicha, of that he's a rotzech, he's taken off of the mizbech and taken out to be killed, even though it's going to be mavatal the avoida. But now, from what we just learned, that you can't carry out capital punishment on Shabbos, we should say that we don't carry out a capital punishment against a Kohen because it's not doich the avoda mikav v'chomer. Umar Shabbos shenitzchas b'nei avoda. Shabbos is pushed away by korbanos, by avoda, because you offer korbanos on Shabbos. Yet, ein ritzicha doicha oisa, you just proved that since you can't melt the lead on Shabbos from the pasuk, we've been taught that ein ritzicha doicha oisa, carrying out capital punishment Shabbos, it's not doicha Shabbos. Avoida, which is l'chora more chomer, because it's doicha Shabbos. Ein adin shlote ritzicha doicha. So we should allow the Kohen to continue doing the avoida, not be killed. Ela d'chsiv, it says by Rotzech, another pasuk. Me'im is bechiti kachenu lamus. Well, the pasuk clearly says that you can take the Kohen and kill him. We have a kal v'chomer against it. So that pasuk of me'im is bechiti kachenu lamus, hahula korban yochid, that we would take a korban away from the job of offering the korban yochid and kill him. And a korban yochid is shaloi doichi Shabbos. But korbanos tzibur are doichi Shabbos. So if we have a Kohen who is standing on the Mizbech and offering a korban yochid, he is not makriv. That is, you take him to Beis Din to kill.
Hello?
Yes? But if he's offering a korban tzibur, it would not be doicha. Amar Rava iachi. So then we could say another kal v'chomer. Lo tehei ritzicha doicha korban yochid. Maybe even a korban yochid, we shouldn't have to take him off of the mizbeach from a kal v'chomer. And this kal v'chomer will develop tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow?
At 7?
Tomorrow I have to learn early, 5:30.
Okay. If I
We're going to
can.
Las Vegas Thursday and Friday for a convention, so I have to learn a little earlier. So let's make it at 5:30. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good. Have a good night, everybody.